Hi, it's Lisa Cuneo, and welcome to my scrapbook table. This is the third time I have tried to do this voiceover, so let's see if this goes any better. I'm using these leftover stickers from a Vicky Bouton collection. I believe it's Storyteller, and I have a few little scraps of paper. Here's some photos. These are of us on the plane, and then when we pulled into our driveway as we got home from this trip. So this will be the last page of this album. I'm not done with the album yet. This just happens to be the page I'm working on. Today's shape for Get in Shape, the Sunday series we've been doing in January, is hexagons. And I didn't have a hexagon with me. I was at a crop. I didn't have a way to print out a regular hexagon, which means all the sides would be the same length. I knew if I tried to freehand it, it would not be good, so I borrowed a small hexagon shape that someone else had, and I used my T-square ruler, and I managed to make this pattern. So, excuse me, here I'm roughly trimming it out so that I can get the edges into my trimmer nicely and get those trimmed off to create this hexagon. The sketch that I used for my basic idea is from MirandaWebber. Of My Scrappy Life, and I will link her site below. I will try to remember to do that. And so isn't that green paper pretty? I just think that's so gorgeous. I really like it on the black. It stands out so well. And I have a piece, this is the last piece of this pattern paper that I have from Storyteller collection. It's so pretty. And I'm using that to decide what other papers I'm going to use. I decide on this black and white, though it's not a bright white, it's kind of a softer white. And I know I don't need a full second hexagon, so I'm trying to think of what part of the hexagon I need. And I end up really just winging it and hoping for the best, and I figured, well, I could always cut out a second one if this one doesn't work out right. It's a little harder when the paper you're using has direction that matters. So, but this worked out fine. And again, I mostly cut it roughly, and then I trimmed it a little more carefully. I think I did on my trimmer, but maybe not. It wasn't that long ago that I made the layout, but I can't remember. Looks like I'm just trying to be careful on this one. So there we go. And it does work out. And it's okay that there's kind of an odd angle at the bottom left there, because that's going to get covered up by my photos. Which here they are. I ended up double matting those. And there I am tapping my fingers while I think. That's so funny to me now. This original sketch had paper strips going across the top and the bottom, which I liked, but I couldn't use this scrap across the top because it does have some words on it, and it would have bothered me for those to be upside down. So I decided just to go with an L shape, and I'm using this band of tickets. I also have this that is, it's not exactly hexagons, but it reads hexagons. So I went ahead with it to fit this shape challenge. And what I end up doing is cutting it in two pieces and kind of stretching it behind the hexagons and the photo block. And so here I've decided how to map my photos. I love this dark red paper. So pretty. And I double matted these photos. I don't do that very often, but I decided to for this one. And there they're matted. Though I goofed on the one piece of paper, and so I ended up just using a strip of another paper and making a different edge to the mat. And it looks good that way. I'm fine with that, even though they don't match exactly. I do pull in a frame from 49 and Market Spectrum Sherbet collection, I believe. There's a pink inside of a frame laying there to the left, but it's the wrong pink. It just doesn't go with what I was doing here. It was really hard to get this piece cut. It was kind of an awkward angle there. Anyway, I do take one of the Spectrum Sherbet frames and I cut it kind of at a diagonal, and I use one half of it to the top right of the upper photo. I'm sorry, to the top left of the upper photo, and the other half to the bottom right of the lower photo. There we go. I also have that ticket that I trimmed off, and there, for some reason, I didn't get footage of me putting the frame down, but you can see that I've added it now. And here's where I decide I'm going to trim this out in half. And I lay it down there on top of the green. I kind of like that, looking at it now. Maybe I decided not to do that because I could not lift that frame up at all to get this under. And the only way I have figured out to adhere this stuff is to have it under something where you can lay a bunch of adhesive and then kind of squish it down in there. I have this ticket that I trimmed off from that piece at the bottom. I do trim off all the white. I wish I had done that on the other strip as well. But it's already glued down, so that's that. So I cut it in half, and I just use it as a little layering bit above one photo and to the right of the other. And there we go. I was thinking about where to do this. I kind of thought of there, but ultimately I ended up just making it look like it was a strip down the whole side. And I pulled out these letter stickers. They're silver, so they go with the hexagon-y, I don't even know what you call that stuff. I'm pretty sure this was a Stampin' Up! Product, but I don't know what it's called, when it was from. No clue. I really like these silver letter stickers. So first I just did the word home, and then I decided to make the title We're Home, and I had to fake an R, but it worked out okay. These have a good weight, and they seem to have good adhesive on them. They're not too thick, but they're not flimsy. Oh, and I added an exclamation point at the end. Trying to get that little teeny piece. There we go. I like how the W and the H kind of nestled together nicely there. And here's where I realize, I don't have an R. So I'm thinking, what can I make an R from? And I finally settled on cutting down an N, I believe. Yes. So I just cut a piece off and made it work. And there's even some other punctuation, so I found an apostrophe to make the contraction. There we go. Title's done. We're home. Now I'm looking at the stickers, thinking, where am I going to make some clusters? That large heart ends up moving. Yeah, I put it to the left. The small heart ends up moving to the top. And there are some dots that are the same color as the hearts. So I put some at the top, and that's when I decide to also move the heart, because there's that big butterfly that's the same color, and I want to use it as well, and it seemed to fit better where that smaller heart is. So there, I moved that. I decided to put a little adhesive liquid glue on these. I wasn't sure how well they would stay put. And one of the last things I do is look through my Tim Holtz Book of Word stickers and I added 3 little stickers that say joy, relax, and blessed. My journaling goes on the bottom left, kind of. Looked up the date there. It was Saturday, July 30th, 2022, and it says, our trip home took much longer than planned. Our flight from Salt Lake City was delayed repeatedly, causing us to miss our flight to Cleveland. Our hotel room provided by the airline was so far from the airport that we only had a couple hours to sleep. We were exhausted and very happy to be home. I got to use this new white pen that my sister surprised me with. Amazon's a wonderful thing. We can order each other something and have it delivered to the other one's house. I love that. So there, and it worked really nicely. It shows up well on this black paper. I was happy with that. And this layout is just about done. I think I'm going to have to use all those stickers up to create a background or something, because I have so many stickers left from this collection, but no more paper. So that's what I've kind of decided to do. All right, there it is. This one's done. And again, this will be the final page in our album from Out West. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to check out the others who are participating in the Get in Shape YouTube Hop. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.